On the 14th of July, 1683, an Ottoman army under Grand Vizier Kara Mustafa Pasha arrived at the gates of Vienna, marking the beginning of a siege characterized by subterranean warfare, delays on both sides, and an apocalyptic storm of Tatar raiders devastating the hinterland. The siege ended with the famous relief of Vienna by King Jan III Sobieski's Polish-winged Hussars, a turning point in Ottoman westward expansion and a case study in warfare still analyzed today. When the Ottoman Grand Vizier Ahmed Köprülü died in 1676, 12 years of peace existed between the Ottomans and the Austrians. The Austro-Turkish War had ended with the Treaty of Vassar in 1664. Köprülü was satisfied, but after his death, the fanatically anti-Austrian Kara Mustafa Pasha rose to the position of Grand Vizier. In 1682, peace negotiations were set to continue but failed. France, rival of the Habsburgs, encouraged Ottoman aspirations. Austria, already challenged by a Hungarian Protestant rebellion, led by Emmerich Thököly, faced additional pressure. In 1682, an alliance formed between the Ottomans and Thököly's forces, foreshadowing another war. On 2nd January 1683, the Ottomans officially declared war on the Habsburgs. However, their army was slow to advance. By the summer, they were ready to invade, giving the defenders crucial time to prepare. After lengthy negotiations, Polish King Jan Sobieski signed a defensive pact with the Holy Roman Empire on the 31st of March, 1683. At Belgrade, Sultan Mehmed IV appointed Kara Mustafa as Serasker commander. The Sultan withdrew to leisure, leaving Kara Mustafa in charge. It was not until the 25th of June, at Stuhlweissenburg/Shekesfehervar, that Kara Mustafa revealed his plan to march straight on Vienna rather than reducing frontier strongholds. This surprised both Ottoman commanders and Austrian defenders. Duke Charles V of Lorraine, commanding only 33,000 men, initially attempted to distract the Ottomans at Neuhäusel, then hurried to Raab, Vienna's fortified defense line, engineered by Georg Rimpler. On 1st July, Tatar forces crossed the Raab River, forcing Charles to leave a small garrison and fall back toward Vienna. The Tatars encountered his rearguard near Petronell but were repelled. Still, they continued devastating the surrounding region, creating what historian Ekkehard Eickhoff calls an apocalyptic storm of destruction, rape, abduction, and death. Kara Mustafa, beset by doubts, requested retrospective approval from the Sultan to attack Vienna. The resulting 7-day delay proved crucial, giving the Viennese time to prepare. Finally, he left 12,000 men to blockade Raab and marched toward Vienna without an answer from the Sultan. Emperor Leopold I organized the city's defense, appointing Count Ernst Rüdiger von Starhemberg commander, and evacuated with 80,000 citizens on 7th July. Georg Rimpler, who had previously observed Ottoman siege tactics at Candia, strengthened Vienna's defenses. He focused on the southwest and southern sides, building bastions, retrenchments, palisades, and caponières to protect the city against artillery and mining attacks. Young and old worked feverishly to fortify Vienna with stone, earth, and wood. On the 14th of July, Kara Mustafa's army arrived. Estimates range from 110,000 to 200,000 men, including 20,000 elite janissaries. The Viennese garrison consisted of only 10,000 soldiers and an inexperienced urban militia, a tenth of the Ottoman force. Sobieski, informed of Vienna's plight, began mustering a relief army of 50,000 men, aiming to reach Vienna by 20th August. The Ottomans encircled Vienna by 16th July, demanding surrender, conversion to Islam, and tribute, all refused by Starhemberg. The Ottomans had fewer heavy artillery pieces than usual, relying on saps, trenches, and mining operations to breach Vienna's walls. Ottoman miners began tunneling on the 24th of July. Viennese countermining, and a network of basement listeners allowed them to detect and occasionally repel attacks. On the 25th of July, Ottoman mines damaged palisades opposite the Lovell and Berg bastions. In a counterattack, Rimpler's left arm was shattered. He later died on the 3rd of August. By 30th July, the Ottomans established batteries before the Lovell bastion and destroyed the bastion's cavalier. The Viennese recovered artillery and cut new embrasures. Meanwhile, Charles V of Lorraine and Sobieski's armies began moving to reinforce Vienna. The Viennese countermined effectively at times, but Ottoman advances persisted. By 3rd August, the Ottomans had conquered a long stretch of the covered way and descended into the ditch, heralding the battle for the ditch. The Ottomans dug tunnels under the bastions and advanced through the ditch. Viennese defenders used caponiers to fire upon attackers, creating redoubts from mined earth. While the Viennese destroyed one tunnel and buried 30 Ottomans alive, the siege pressure continued. On the 8th of August, the first Janissaries reached the city wall. Subsequent mining under bastions and ravelins created breaches, but defenders repeatedly counterattacked. A bloody epidemic broke out in the city, incapacitating Starhemberg temporarily. The Viennese conscripted all available men, enforcing participation under threat of death. Heavy rainfall turned late August into a mud fight. King Sobieski, delayed by 2 weeks, left Krakow on the 14th of August. By early September, the defenders were desperate, launching rockets nightly from St. Stephen's Cathedral to signal the approaching relief army. On 1st September, a messenger brought news of the approaching relief army. Starhemberg and the defenders prepared final redoubts behind the city walls, digging and reinforcing parapets and palisades. Ottoman mines exploded under the curtain wall and Berg bastion, but defenders repaired breaches under cover of night. Morale in the Ottoman camp fell due to delayed pay and dissatisfaction among the Janissaries and Tatar allies. On 7th September, Kara Mustafa redeployed troops to face the relief army, preparing 5 massive mines under the walls. The relief army crossed the Danube via pontoon bridge, marching through the Vienna Woods with minimal supplies. By 11th September, they reached Kahlenberg, arranged in battle order. The left flank under Charles of Lorraine, center composed of Saxony, Bavaria, and German contingents, and the Polish right flank under Sobieski. They faced roughly 80,000 Ottoman soldiers, with Kara Mustafa at the center, Moldavian and Wallachian vassals on the right, and Tatars on the left. The left flank engaged first at Nussdorf, pushing back Janissaries. After 6 hours, Charles's troops reached the Ottoman camp. Sobieski's winged Hussars charged down Kahlenberg, sweeping through the disordered Ottoman ranks. Vienna's garrison launched a final sortie, securing victory before sunset. Kara Mustafa fled after being injured. Polish troops looted Ottoman treasures. Charles of Lorraine maintained battle order, wary of pursuit. The Viennese discovered 5 mines ready to explode, narrowly avoiding disaster. Emperor Leopold I celebrated victory in St. Stephen's Cathedral on the 18th of September. Kara Mustafa returned to Belgrade, only to be executed by the Sultan on the 25th of December for his failure, strangled with a silk cord.